Hello, welcome back to Chaotic Creatives, the show about embracing the chaos that comes from living a creative life.
We are your hosts, two self-proclaimed chaotic creative gals. Oh, it's me. I'm Lauren Hom, better known as Hom Sweet Hom on the internet. I am a designer, lettering artist, muralist, and chef.
And I'm Rachael Renee. I'm an artist, creativity coach, your internet hype gal, and most recently an author. And I'm also a mother of this ancient cat that has joined us for the last couple of episodes. So welcome, Miss Kitty, our third co-host.
Oh, hi, Miss Kitty.
She can't hear, so she doesn't care.
Which is adorable.
Yeah. Mangy old gal.
I love how mangy she is.
Loves to cuddle, though.
Yeah.
She just wants to sit on a lap all day. I get it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Let's do it.
This is the dress episode.
This is the dress episode. We are live.
You are highlighter. I am crayons.
Cute. Yeah. That feels like maybe our personalities.
Yeah.
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 A little
Does.
bit.
Nice.
Cool. What are we talking about today?
So sorry. See, this is why we can't record too much in one day. It just gets real chaotic.
I like it.
Whoa, we even have matching cups today.
Wow, cute.
Very cute. So today we are talking about being a business owner on the internet, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We got into an interesting discussion about just, I guess, navigating doing business online in an age where so much of business advice is to make it easier for the customer to purchase, sending them links, trying to reach the customer wherever they are, meet them where they're at and make it more easy and make your offers more accessible to buy now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, when we were planning this season, we just got into a really interesting discussion about as technology evolves to make it easier to reach people, where do we as service providers and coaches and people who sell things and make products, where do we decide to opt in to try to reach people? And where do we decide to hang back and let people come to us?
Mm-hmm.
And there really is no right or wrong answer. There's just what feels good to you and what's going to help you stave off resentment.
Totally. And we have a couple different approaches. I use this tool called ManyChat, which I think is a meta service or software that connects to your Instagram. And so if you've seen people say comment play for this resource, it helps me. I like using this tool because it helps me to not have to answer the same question again and again and again. So it's when people comment play based on the thing, the system that I set, the workflow that I set up, I have a response that automatically sends to them and sends them a link. I'm writing it. It's not some robot random thing. I've created it. I've set up the workflow. The only thing that is sort of automated is just the response. And I found that it's really helpful because if I have a product that I'm offering, let's say a downloadable book, my creative visioning workshop or workbook, for example, to be able to set that up, or I have my silly questions that we did maybe in episode or in season 2, we talked through some of my silly questions. Mm-hmm. I have that pinned in my Instagram profile. People can go look at that and then they comment silly and I automatically send it to them instead of people continuously reaching out because they saw some of those silly questions and are where can I download this? So it makes it easy for me to not have to have as much interfacing, answering the same questions. But then that we also got on the conversation of you don't use that tool.
Yes. And it's just a personal choice.
Yeah.
Because you and I also engage with our audiences very differently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm someone who over the last couple years has grown extremely phone wary.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about this, staving off resentment.
Yeah.
Big thing. I'm someone who wants to be on her phone as little as possible, which could go either way with this ManyChat thing. And listen, I am not a bury my head in the sand kind of person either. I like to keep up to date with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I did start to notice people doing the comment this word and I'll DM you like the link. I'll send you the link to sign up for like a webinar or to the course or whatnot. I did find that interesting, but I decided to abstain only because I didn't want to set the precedent with my audience, because I have a large audience now, that I was going to like hand deliver links to their inboxes, only because I don't want to be in my DMs. I'm not personally in my DMs very often. And over the years, I had tried to like hire friends to help manage my inbox, and it just never quite worked out for me. But I know it can still be a helpful tool. I'm personally comfortable with like putting details in like a longer caption and saying like link is in my bio. Cool with that. And maybe I have fewer conversions, but for me, I'm like, if someone is not willing to like, if someone can't follow the instructions of go to the link in my bio, I don't know what to tell you.
I think it's a great point, because I think in today's social media culture of like urgency, where it's like, buy this, here's the link, and people kind of do things without thinking, by making them go to the link in bio or like go to my website and get this, that is them taking initiative and being more sure that they want the thing. Like, it's kind of like, how much hand holding do we want to do? And it's like, well, how much hand holding do you feel comfortable with? Like, you know, I like, especially for my free resources, a quick, hey, here's how you can get this. Like, you can get it without even leaving this post. It's in your inbox now. Because I also have ADHD. And, you know, if I like don't save something or screenshot it, I mean, I'll screenshot it. And then realistically, am I going back through my screenshot
purgatory?
But like having that for a free resource, amazing. But then there are other things like we talked about maybe in the first or second episode of this season, where I have those free exploratory calls and I won't do any follow-up, because like if someone isn't serious about like, I mean, I will do follow-up for my coaching sessions. I send notes and, you know.
Yeah, but if someone doesn't show up to one of those free calls, you're not going to chase them down to say like, hey, did you want to reschedule? Like, you're not going to beg someone to work with you.
Right. Because like if they didn't take that free call seriously, I'm not going to force them to take, you know, like they probably didn't actually want the coaching session anyway. And so I want to, because those are limited, because my time is limited, I really want to prioritize the people who follow the instructions, take it seriously, and like, are interested in, you know, being respectful of my time. And like, I know things come up, but when there's no fault, I will not be the one that's like chasing down these leads, basically.
100%. This ties into like, I feel like a deeper philosophical conversation around just like scaling a like human-based business. Like, when you are a solopreneur, like most creative businesses are just like based around one person or maybe a small group of people. And I really don't think these types of businesses were meant to scale that big. And listen, I'm not like poo-pooing any automations whatsoever. Like, I have like, there are like autoresponders. I have like email automations. When someone signs up for a course, they get a welcome email. Like, there are things that people should absolutely be doing to like make their lives easier. There's no, I think, moral high ground in hand delivering an email necessarily. But I think it's just like, when I think I tried to hire a friend to help me like answer DMs and stuff, to like the platforms want you to engage 100%. That's their goal. And they will try to do everything they can to get you to answer every comment, to answer every DM. And at a certain audience size, it is possible, and it's very fun. Very, very fun to build community that way. There was a tipping point for me personally where it became overwhelming, and I had to take a step back. Because I realized that by hiring a friend, it was working for a second, and then I was like, I think I'm setting a trap for myself. That as I grow, I'm going to have to hire more friends to answer more DMs or like get some kind of chat bot. And that didn't feel like something I wanted to do with like my name and image. And I'm sure there are people who would feel more comfortable doing that. But it just was, I was like, oh, this can only be so big, and that's okay.
And I think I'm getting close to that tipping point, because I do answer all of the DMs. that have a specific question.
Yes.
I used to answer every DM, like even if it was just like,
But
I
now
love
you're
your
more
dress.
discerning. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I just don't have capacity to say thank you. I'm grateful when people like send me a compliment, of course.
There's nothing wrong with double tapping like a message too, saying like, just like.
Totally. Yeah. And I think like that is kind of where I'm starting to get to the point where there are just a lot of people engaging, and I'm so grateful for that.
Totally.
Of course.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah. And I think that's also a reason why I wanted to do this community space, is because I would rather engage at a deeper level with less people that are committed than have these like quick in passing social, I actually don't know who you are. Like, for example, the other day, somebody sent me a message, and I was like, it was asking a question of like where to donate clothes. And I was like, oh, are you local to Metro Detroit? And she was like, yeah. And then I gave some resources, and then she was like, thank you so much, by the way, for, your Play with Clay workshop. I came and I had a great time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It was someone that I am a studio mate with, but because I get so many messages, I don't click on people's profile to see who it is. Like, I'm used to seeing the username, and like there are some people that have like taken my courses, so I'm familiar with them a little bit more. And then I was like, oh, I feel I'm bummed that I didn't realize that this was a person that I interact with in person, but didn't make that connection. And so it's like getting to that tipping point where it's like, okay, what is like fulfilling engagement? And that's why I decided to do this community. So it's like I can actually get to know these, people a little bit deeper and on a more meaningful level, than just like answering their questions or just like a quick,
It's really tough because I think what these platforms ask of us is like an impossible ask, because an Instagram, like your Instagram followers are a blend of customers, a blend of family members, a blend of people you have actually met in real life, like friends from college, just this. It's almost like every single person you've met for the last 10 or 15 years.
I know.
And to expect like you're managing like 10 different types of like interactions and relationships. But like when you're hopping on to like answer, let's say like you're in like customer service mode, of course you're not going to look at every single profile. Like maybe you're in the middle of a launch and you're just kind of like in launch mode. And it's tough because, someone that you met like at a friend's birthday party could have messaged you something and you just didn't recognize.
Yeah. It's also interesting with the like with the ManyChat autoresponder, certain words will sometimes trigger that. And like I was coordinating with a gal that I'm gonna like do a call with, like that I have met in person and know in person. And because she messaged me something about Dennis Rodman, and I had like a ManyChat thing that was like message Rodman to like get the style or whatever, like, and I don't get notified when the autoresponder goes. So I did not see that she had that previous message. So it's like only until someone messages again am I like, oh my gosh, sorry about the autoresponder, which like
most
I
people
think we
understand.
all understand. Yeah, I don't think anyone has hard feelings about that. I think it's like everyone who's messaging me understands that like there's 100,000 followers there. That's a lot of people if everyone's sending me a message. And like I sometimes get overwhelmed with the messages and it takes me a while. And it's just whatever feels comfy for you, I think is what we're trying to get at. Like you don't really do DMs and I do. Yeah.
I used to do them, like maybe up until about 100,000
Yeah.
followers.
Yeah.
But it's really what we talk about, right? Like recognizing when like you are feeling like, I don't want to do this anymore, or you're feeling resentful of certain interactions, like, and realizing when you either need to take a step back or outsource something or just make a change.
Yeah.
Like the only way I've been able to post more often is to just absolve myself of having to respond to everything. And again, engagement, good problem to have. But like the same way that we talk about, you teaching clients and customers how to kind of like see you or treat you. It's the same thing with an audience, like how you're going to engage. And same thing with like following up with like potential coaching clients, or even like design clients.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, what was it, season 2, episode 2, when we
Yeah.
talked about how a lot of creative advice is very similar to like dating advice.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar to like, okay, it takes 2. And how much are you willing to like double text, triple text, like follow up with somebody
Yeah.
in order to pursue an opportunity?
Right.
Because you also need something from them too, where
Yeah.
it's like, are you interested? Like in a perfect world, we would have clients and customers knocking on our doors all the time, but that's just not how it goes.
Yeah.
Like we do have to put ourselves out there and pursue like opportunities as well. But it's just asking yourself the question of like, how much am I willing to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I liked the example that you were talking about earlier with the like girl at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. My friend Andre, when we were talking about like, he's very comfortable pitching. And I'm not. And I would rather do more passive marketing. Historically, I've done lots of personal work, published it like online, and let that like circulate passively. And that's how I attract opportunities. And he's like, oh, you're doing like the hot girl at the bar thing where you just like sit there and look pretty and like let people come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that neither strategy is better or worse. It's just which one is better suited to your personality type, your strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first had this conversation, when we were planning this episode, I think you and I talked about a phrase that I always ask myself when I'm like, oh, like, should I use this new thing or not? Like, should I use this in my business? Instead of thinking about it in a binary of like, is this good? Is this bad? It's better to ask yourself like, what is gained and what is lost?
Yeah.
If I use ManyChat, like, do I gain some autonomy, some freedom? Like, maybe the benefits are worth like
Mm-hmm.
the trade-off
Mhm.
of occasionally someone I know will accidentally trigger the ManyChat and
Yeah.
get an autoresponder.
Totally.
Totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that phrasing of what's gained and what's lost because yeah, for me, using ManyChat and having that automation, that takes so many like notification number bubble numbers out of my notifications. And so then like that feels easier for me when it's like, yeah, this person isn't trying to interact with me and have a conversation. They're just trying to get this resource that I created. And that's what I created it for, was for people to download it and use it in their own lives, not necessarily to talk to me about it.
Mhm.
I love when people talk to me about it. Ran into someone in person the other day who was like, I use your silly questions download. And it made my day.
Yeah.
Like it makes me so happy to hear that people like the resources that I create. But also if there are people who are just like, yeah, I just want to get it, then, you know, it's like, it makes it easy for them. And at the same time, like, you know, I feel like I'm in between like pitching and personal work. Like I want to attract people to come to me as far as clients or like partnership
Mhm.
deals or speaking engagements or whatever. But then I also feel like leveraging the relationships that I already have and pitching in that way, like continuing to foster these established relationships
Yeah.
feels good. I know that you've pitched to clients that you have already worked with, and that feels like a nice place to be.
It does feel like a nice place to be. I'm usually not that successful with
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I'm also
still
not
worth,
pushy.
it's still worth putting yourself out there. I think that
Yeah.
like it's easy, especially after like doing what I've been doing for so long, to
Mhm.
get like cozy and like, this is my method and like I'm sticking with it. When like things do change, like the
Yeah.
internet is changing, the way we communicate changes. Like,
Mhm.
and so I do like to challenge myself to like get out of my comfort zone.
Mhm.
But yeah, historically, like I always feel like cold pitching, or even if it's someone that I've worked with before, just pitching, the success rate tends to be lower because I'm approaching them not knowing where they're at.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
Whereas it's good to like sprinkle a little bit of that in there and like just, you know, temper expectations.
Mhm.
And then even like and again, in an ideal world, when someone comes to you, it's like they have something already in mind and then you can respond to that, which is nice. And I find that the best projects I've gotten and the most like quality partnerships and products I've been hired for are usually when someone like seeks me out.
Mhm. Well, yeah, because then that means that they have an understanding of your work and they see it as in alignment with their
Yeah.
work. I mean, like when we did the Marshall's workshop, I feel like the brief was like so aligned with what we do.
Yeah.
And it was just like, this rules. I'm so excited about this. Like it was so much fun.
Yeah, I guess we did a little bit of pitching for that. Like,
Yeah.
that was really fun.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk about that, right? Yeah.
I think. I mean, it's
Yeah.
over.
I guess so.
We didn't sign any NDAs.
That's true. Yeah, like when we did that Marshall's workshop, you and I both got approached for that project individually.
Yep.
And you had texted me. You were like, "Hey, can you help me price this project?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And like 20 minutes later, I got an inquiry for that same project, and I was like, "What if we pitch together?"
Yeah.
Because I was like, "Do they not know that we do the podcast?" And it turns out that they did, but they were like, we weren't sure we have budget for like both of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you and I chatted on the side and we were like, let's like do everything we can to like try to get this under our belt together.
Yeah.
And we like made an irresistible offer.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. It was so much more fun to do it together.
Totally.
Than separate.
Yeah. And also like, yeah, it was fun to brainstorm and then like pitch ideas to them. Yeah, they were a great client to work for. And so that was really a lot of fun.
This episode is brought to you by us asking you to follow us on Instagram at chaoticcreativespod and or YouTube at chaoticcreativespodcast.
Both. Follow us on both. Like, subscribe, comment, share on all the platforms, please.
Yes, please and thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, now back to the episode.
Also practicing like the pitching is like rejection therapy, right?
Yeah.
Like I definitely, when I was doing more like fashion influencer work, I reached out to brands all the time because I was new and I didn't know any better. And
naivete is so beautiful.
Oh, it's so great. I mean, I'm really trying to lean into that as I approach this like new endeavor of like being an artist, like a studio practice artist. Like I don't know anything about art history. I don't know the art world at all. Like, I don't know galleries. I don't know anything. And I'm like, I actually like it that way because I'm just creating from like my soul.
That's actually really beautiful. And I hope that you like don't do too much research into like getting too much advice from other like more seasoned artists, because there's like this magical like veil that you walk around when you are a novice.
Yeah.
That I know that at the end of last season, when we were talking about how like, I feel like the older I've gotten, the more like risk averse I've become, and you feel the opposite. Like when I know more information, the second I know information, I can't unknow it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nice going into something with like fresh like untainted like eyes, because then you can truly just like ask, like, and you're not like self-conscious, because once you know that like, oh, galleries operate this way, or like clients tend to like this, you start to get into like this like conversation in your head that like, well, maybe I shouldn't do that, or like it would be uncouth of me to do this, when a lot of times the little openings and opportunities that are there, you kind of have to just ask and not be afraid to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And usually it's you getting in your own way of putting yourself there.
I think it's a perfect example of like the established way to do things is the way that we think we have to do things.
Yeah.
So like, okay, the art world, the fine art world operates in this way. This is how, you should be approaching that. Well, I don't know anything about that world. I don't know anything about having an art show. And like, I also have the like excitement, enthusiasm, and like little bit of confidence to know that like I can figure out how to host an art show by myself, even if it's just for a weekend in a space.
Do it your own way, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be unique, it'll be fresh, like, and especially in this day and age too, with like, AI slop and like people just going to ChatGPT for like quick and easy answers because they don't want to do their own thinking. I think that doing things your own, like not by the books way is actually a better method for coming up with like something that's a little stickier and more unique.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you ask ChatGPT, like, how do I host an art show? It's going to give you the average of like everything that's out there.
Yeah.
And that's boring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think recognizing that like the excitement is what should drive you or at least for me, I'm recognizing that the excitement of making work and like having someone come in and experience this like show that I'm envisioning in my head in this weird way, like that is fun to me. And I don't care if like a fine art, MFA student or graduate is like, this isn't how you do it. Why did you do it this way? And it will be like, because I'm learning. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just following my heart and making stuff.
Exactly. Like, I think that's part of what got me started thinking about the like secret menu for my portfolio.
Yeah.
Is I was like, and I'm someone who teaches portfolio classes.
Yeah.
I think that it's more interesting to do whatever you want with your personal website. Like, it's my professional website too, but why not add stuff like that? It's not going to blow up the whole thing. There's still the bones are still what people recognize as a portfolio site. But why not add a couple like fun pages, like just for you? It's not gonna mess it up.
And I think, in fact, it might repel people that don't want to work with you anyway.
Yeah.
But it will attract the people who like really get it, you know? Like, and by get it, I mean like who see the world in a slightly different way, in the same way that you do, like chaotic creative vibe of like, okay, this is messy and fun and I want to be friends with that person, or like, this is a weird thing that they built. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I was actually like hemming and hawing a couple months ago over my bio because I was getting a little self-conscious. I've had this as my bio for a long time, like years, but I have a paragraph in my bio that talks about like when I'm not working, you can find me, blah, 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 blah. But I have a thing about like, something about like furiously like working towards the deadline because I procrastinated as per usual. And I got in my head about it a couple months ago for whatever reason. I think when I was moving back to New York, to be honest, like, because I was like, is this unprofessional? Like, are people not going to want to work with me because I am honest about like furiously working towards the deadline because I did procrastinate? But like, everyone procrastinates, but should I just not say that? Like, say the quiet part out loud?
Yeah.
But then I had to like take a breath and remind myself that I wrote that as an honestly, because I also teach. And because I teach, I put that in my bio because I thought it would be humanizing to other freelancers and designers who I mentor and teach. That like, it happens.
Absolutely.
That's also not even it happens. That's how I work.
Yeah.
I will get you the work, but like, I'm a procrastinator.
It's going to be either at or shortly after the deadline.
Yes. EOD 5 p.m. or 11:59 p.m.
Yeah.
Tell me what time zone you're in.
Yeah. Oh my God. Ooh, makes my whole body clench.
Sorry to my anxious girlies out there.
It's okay. I'm learning. I think that's people want to work with people. They don't want to necessarily work. At least I do. I want to work with a human, and I want to buy your work and buy your services because I connect with you on a human level, not because you're the best at what you do. And that's something that's been coming up in some of my coaching calls lately, where folks are like, why should I be the one that's selling, this? Like, why would people want to learn from me? And I'm like, because they connected with you about something. Like, I am one of so many other creativity coaches, but there's a reason that you paid for a session with me, because like we connected in a way. And so it's like, people want to buy from people. So being honest and being silly that you're a procrastinator, that's going to really resonate with other people and be like, yeah, me too. Lauren gets it.
Yeah.
Or someone will be like, oh, that means she's going to miss a deadline. And that's not your perfect client.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, I'm trying to embrace the like naive approach to being an artist. And like, I feel like I'm friends with a lot of artists that went to art school and like know art history and know this and know that. And I'm like, sometimes I get self-conscious about it. Like, oh, I don't know who that painter is, or I don't know how that operates. And I'm like, actually, I think it's good. I think I'm going to like keep the blinders on and make the stuff that I want to make. And then like, I'll learn while doing it.
Yeah.
and like try not to be influenced by other stuff. I don't know.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this past summer, Z and I, my friend Zapong and I were in Mexico City. I was there watching him give a talk, and one of the other speakers, I cannot remember his last name, but we will link to his work in
Sure.
the show notes. His name's Robert. He presented earlier in the day, and Z and I are in the audience, and he is presenting some like big brain, like high conceptual like work. And I turn to Z and I go, "Are we idiots?"
Oh man.
Yeah. Like he's talking about like doing this like incredibly detailed like work about like tracking the way that like rivers naturally carve through landscapes and how like the velocity of the water like naturally shifts the curve of the rivers this way because the inner curve is like less than the outer curve. You probably know some of this.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I like this. Yeah.
It's really, and like he translates that information, that data into like, he maps that data into like art projects. It's really fascinating. You will actually really enjoy.
Oh yeah, please send it to me, because that reminds me, I think I've probably talked about this, and I did write it in my book. And I had to be like, to my editor, I was like, this feels like it's a pretty clunky analogy, but like I want to say it because it has stuck with me for so long. So when I was in grad school, I was taking a stream restoration class. And basically in the Industrial Revolution, we channelized all of our rivers so that we could get product on ships to places fast, and also so that flooding wouldn't happen. So like if we move the water down to the ocean faster, like it won't flood, which is a natural occurring thing with the like waviness of the river. And lock in, this is a side quest.
I'm ready.
First one of the season. That feels crazy.
It's because we planned some of these episodes.
It is.
We do have a pin in a topic for later this season about side questing. So.
Yes, we do. Okay, so first side quest of the season.
Okay,
all right,
I'm ready.
So because we channelized them, the water and the sediment are all going to the ocean. It's causing problems downstream. But that is like a very American way to think, where it's like, not in my backyard, send it somewhere else, And so what what we were learning in that class is like why it's actually important to have these like meanders in the streams, because it slows the water down, it stops the sediment, it allows for invertebrates to be there to clean the water naturally. And flooding is actually a naturally occurring like experience that has a benefit to our environment. Like when it floods, like the plants and animals in the floodplain expect that that's going to happen, and like the trees grow stronger because they have to be able, their roots grow deeper, whatever. Same thing with like droughts or wildfires. Obviously they're so much worse because of human interference now, but wildfires used to be like they would burn and then that turns into nutrients for the plants to grow better. Yep. And so what my professor was talking about in this class was like, we channelized everything because we want everything to be homogeneous all the time. So we want it to be the same. We want no flooding ever, instead of like the natural ebb and flow of the flooding and the droughts. So homogeneity is, what we're going for as humans. And I remember this impacted me so much because he's like, we think as humans, the disturbance is the flood, the fire, the drought. But actually, homogeneity is the disturbance.
To nature.
Yeah. And so I took that because it was like me searching for meaning and like my identity. Yeah. I was like, us all being the same is a disturbance to the natural system. We are, as humans, part of the natural system. And me trying to make myself the same as everyone else is actually going against nature. And I mean, like I have goosebumps right now. Like it impacted me so much in that moment. And so I love that analogy. I still have not found a way to say that in a succinct way where homogeneity is the disturbance.
I honestly think what you just said is perfect.
Thank you.
I don't think there's a succinct way to.
I don't think so either.
I think that story is just perfect.
Thank you. Yeah. So I love that because it's very similar to that analogy where it's like, no, we actually want the meanders in the streams because that's actually healthier. And like those cyclical parts of nature that's natural. I mean, that's nature, natural, whatever. Anyway,
of course.
You get it.
No, for sure. Like I think we live in a culture where we're taught that like uniformity, sameness, like neatness, tidiness is like the bar that we're setting, but it's actually like differences that make us like that make everything interesting and good, and like that is what's natural.
Totally.
Yeah, we need variety.
Yeah, absolutely. I have one more side quest, which I thought about when you said you turned to Z and you were like, "Are we idiots?" That was my exact thought when I joined a book club last year, or maybe the year before, and I read the book and I was like, "Am I dumb? Like, am I?"
It's good to be humbled like that once in a while,
Okay,
and then to remember that you have different strengths.
Yes,
you're not dumb.
But then I got to book club. And I realized that it wasn't that. I'm just used to reading books that I like. And I did not read I didn't like the narrator of the book or like the protagonist. And so we were all talking and I was like, oh no, I'm making good points. It was just about how I hated that character. And ultimately it reminded me that like in isolation, me reading that book, I was like, I'm stupid. And then in community, talking about the book, it's like, oh no, it was just like written in a way that made you want to hate that character. And that was the point of the book. And so like discussing it made me realize like, oh no, we all felt the same way. But I'm used to reading like, fantasy romance. So I'm like,
totally.
I want horny love stories.
We also live in a society that like champions certain types of media as like big brain media, and then like this is like
this is
stuff.
like literary fiction that we're reading.
But like
it's a feminist and I don't know, some kind of like we're reading obscure and feminist literature is what we're reading in that book club. So it's getting me outside my comfort zone for sure. I'm meeting new people. Like I think that the friction of forcing ourselves into new. Okay, come on. Oh, you can do it.
Oh,
she can't jump as well anymore. She old as hell. Anyway, stretching me outside my comfort zone. It's good.
Yeah, of course. But yes.
But we're not idiots. We have different strengths.
Yes, different strengths. Again, diversity of thought, diversity of skill set. We're all different. It's okay.
And we love that. And on that note, all of you different people should support us on Patreon. Because it's time to end the episode.
Seamless transition.
Thank you. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, we if you want to support us on Patreon, we release ad-free episodes the Friday before the episode comes out, so you can do that there. If you don't want to give us money for whatever reason, you can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or you can send this episode to a pal who needed to hear it.
Yeah.
We know you've got one.
We also have a YouTube channel, so if you're watching this, you can like, subscribe, and share on YouTube.
You're one of those people who like puts it on the TV in the background. I don't have a TV, so
it's like we're big and in the room with you.
I have met a couple people at conferences recently who say that they watch us that way, which is really sweet because it makes it feel like all the effort we put into our outfits and backgrounds is worth it.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy. Yeah.
Yeah. It also makes me feel vindicated for like not wanting to do remote podcast recording. I really do think we're better in person. I also want any excuse to business expense a flight to see you.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that that's something that like we started off with the visual integrity, I guess, of recording in person.
What is gained? What is lost?
Yeah, and what we found is what is lost is like we have yet to figure out how to have guests on, because we want it to be in person. So that's something that we might try to figure out for season 5.
We've got some good ideas.
Yeah. We're noodling. Yeah. That was the first me saying noodle too.
Wow.
Took me 4 episodes to get back to my normal podcasting ways. Okay.
Cool.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.